Good morning, students. Today we are going to do this poem, Dust of Snow, written by Robert Frost, a very famous poet. When we talk about Robert Frost first, if you will dig into his history, he was a kind of poet who would write about very, you can say, casual things, things which are based on your daily life. And very small act he could turn a poem into. Might we people just pass by or we see something, we never think in that deep way about those things. But when we talk about Robert Frost, we would see dust of snow, we would see two roads. You might have read Road Not Taken last year. So anything he could turn out in poetry. Such a magical writing skills he had, Robert Frost, right? So now in this poem, Dust of Snow, dust means here does not that dust literal meaning, it means flakes of snow. You might have seen the snowfall in which flakes are falling on the ground. So dust here is flakes of snow. Fine. And I have already written word meanings. Some meanings are already written. Way means manner, dust, flakes of snow, hemlock. Hemlock is a poisonous tree. And rude means regretted deeply. You can take notes. You can note down the meanings of these words on your book itself. I repeat, if it's not visible to you, way means manner. Second word is dust. Aditya Sharma is there in any of the section because today is a joint class going on. I don't know all the students. Aditya Sharma is there. Okay, beta. So, dust means flakes of snow. Hemlock is one poisonous tree which is associated with some ill omens. There are some good omens, there are some ill omens. Means something bad is going to happen, then when we say, okay, I was going out, Mama, you just called my name, now I'm not going to complete my work. So we people still believe in such orthodox thinking. Some people are quite, you can say, believe in such superstitions or ill omens. When a cat crosses our path, we say, okay, now so I cannot go, I have to step back. Firstly, I have to wait. Or somebody calls your name when you're going to go out of your house, then we start believing, no, my work is not going to be done because somebody has interrupted me. So such kinds of omens are called ill omens, O-M-E-N-S. So why I'm telling you, because in this point something related with omens is there. That's why I'm telling you the meaning. So hemlock is one poisonous tree which is also associated with ill omens, bad omens. Rude here means regretted deeply. When you repent, when you regret something, why didn't this happen? Or why did that happen? Or why didn't it happen in that way? That is rude, regret. Clear? So meanings are clear. Only 8 lines are there in this poem. Page number 14. Pay attention closely. I'll be explaining and then I'll be unmuting any of you. So please sit in an attentive manner. Yeah? Dust of Snow. First of all, the name of the poem is Dust of Snow. The name of the poet is Robert Frost. The way a crow shook down on me. The way is manner. The way is it means manner. The manner a crow shook down on me. Underline the expression shook down. Shook down here means shook snowflakes down. Here, shook down here means shook. Or when a crow is moving its body, snowflakes fell upon the poet. Paramveer Singh is there in your class. 10th A is joining in between. 10th D से है Paramveer. Clear, beta? So once what happens, poet was standing under a hemlock tree and suddenly a crow entered over there. It sat on a tree because snowflakes were there on its body also, on crow's body also. Crow started shaking its body and snowflakes fell upon the poet's shoulder. The dust of snow from a hemlock tree. And he was standing under a hemlock tree, which is a poisonous tree, which is considered a sign of ill omen. So this thing happened in first stanza. Poet was standing under a hemlock tree. A crow suddenly entered over there, shook its head, and snowflakes from the tree fell upon poet. Second stanza has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. He is saying here, firstly, when snowflakes fell upon his shoulders, he was quite doubtful about it. That see, I'm standing here under a poisonous tree, which is considered to be an ill omen, and then a crow. Crow is also a bird which is not usually, when poets do not write about crows in the poetry. You might have read many poems. Poets use, you can say, write about nightingale, cuckoo birds. Manmeet Singh is there, beta? Still students are joining late, very bad. So, I must say, I was telling you that most of the poets and writers, they would write about nightingales, which are known for beautiful, melodious voice. Many writers, they would write about cuckoo birds or lark, L-A-R-K, lark. These birds are known for their voice qualities. They would compare the person with these birds, but nobody write about crows, because crows are considered again a sign of ill omen. So poet says, firstly, it's standing under a poisonous tree, that is hemlock tree. Secondly, and a crow, which is considered to be a sign of ill omen, it is sitting on it. And thirdly, snowflakes, the frozen flakes fell upon my shoulder. So it means something bad is going to happen in my life. So it is all about, this point is all about how you perceive the things. If a cat crosses your path, rather than saying this is the, you can say, nature's message to me that something good will happen, because we are thinking actually. Nothing is going to happen if a cat crosses your path. If you're going out, somebody calls your name. This is just, you can say, notions in your head. Fine? It's one's thinking, one's perception, how you perceive the things. Some people will consider it good omen also. Nothing, whatever is destined for you, or whatever you will do for yourself with your hard work, nobody is going to snatch it from you. Nobody can snatch your efforts from you. So, firstly, poet thought that I am standing under a hemlock tree. Its frozen flakes fell upon my shoulder. It's a crow who is responsible for this. Everything associated with negativity and ill omens. You should write the word omen correctly, fine? It's about ill omens. So this poem is telling you about ill omens, bad occurrences or actions which are going to happen. But in second stanza, he suddenly changed his opinion. First stanza all about negativity, second stanza all about positivity. It has given my heart a change of mood. Then suddenly, poet thought it is a dull morning, cold morning. Nothing is there. Everything is still. No movement was there in life. Everything. I'm telling you two perceptions of people. In first stanza, negative perception. In second stanza, there is positive perception. Fine. In second stanza, if a persona who is positive enough, how he will take this action? He will say, okay, already everything is so cold, the weather is not so good, and there is no movement, no occurring, no action going on in my life. I'm standing still under a tree, but suddenly a crow came and brought movement in my life, a change in my life. So that is the action of positivity. So in second stanza it says, this changed my mood. Actually, my mood was already grave. G-R-A-V-E. Grave means serious. But now, after this act of snowflakes fallen upon my shoulder, it changed into positivity. It actually saved my day, which I have otherwise ruined or wasted. Fine? Of a day I have ruined. He might have regretted otherwise. Suppose if nothing happens, he was standing there waiting for something to happen, nothing happened. After waiting, he goes to his work. And no change was there. When we live a dull, boring, stagnant routine, it is not possible for us to move in life. But if we have some change, some actions are going on, something is going on in our life, then we feel positive. We're saying, otherwise I would have wasted my day. I would have repented or regretted later on why I wasted my day. But this action, this change of action actually saved my life. That some change was brought. Here it has given a jovial mood. So you can say that actually from sorrow to cheerfulness, this theme of this poem changes the mood of the poet from sorrow to, let me change the color for cheerfulness. Let me take this yellow color. Whether it's visible to you. Cheerful, or you can also say cheerfulness from sorrow to cheerfulness. If it's clear, cheerfulness. So, in this poem, poet describes his mood which changed from sorrow to cheerfulness, from sadness to jovial attitude, happy attitude. Here, any word you can use. So now I'll be switching on the chat box so that I could interact with my students. Yes, if any doubt is there, anyone can ask me. Otherwise, I'll be unmuting. Vivan, I told you already there is some problem when we cannot move while wearing the clip is not there with the mark, with the mic. But I guess most of the students are able to listen to me. Visam could not understand. Okay, Prabhu, I'll repeat the first stanza. It's not paragraph. Always remember, when we talk about poetry, it's about stanzas. Poet's mood. Okay, some students are having doubt. I'll explain again. Many of you are asking how it changed the mood. Actually, I'm just telling you, this poem is about how you perceive the small acts in your life. Suppose when you are going somewhere, you are leading a dull life, nothing happens, you're going and you reach your destination, nothing happens, you will reach. Basic idea of the poem I'm telling you, Suhani, just stay there. Okay, and when somebody, same day you are going somewhere and a cat crosses your path. Some students will say, oh my God, what what happened? Ill omen, cat crossed my path, I'm not going to reach my destination. Accident might happen, something bad will happen in my life. So that is gratitude. Clear? But sometimes other students say, same incident happened with the other student. He says, okay, I was going somewhere, beautiful, sweet, cute cat happened to pass my path. Fine. So what a beautiful day it was for me. What a novel new experience I got. I saw a beautiful white cat, a black cat pass my path. So it's actually a way of perceiving the things. Here the point is about how you perceive the things will affect your mood. If you will say something bad is going to happen, so definitely you're going to feel something bad. If you perceive something good is going to happen with me, the mindset of a person actually depends upon yourself only. Your mindset, your mood is in your hand, not in others. We blame others for our moods. Fine? So this is the basic general concept. When we talk about this, particularly this about poem, Dust of Snow, is there any Arpit thing, beta? Coming late when we are going to wind up the things. Is there any Arpit thing? Without writing a class, they are sending me. You should write your class while sending requests to join the class online. Okay, now generally I told you the meaning. Now, the way a crow should, now I am going to repeat the poem again, those who have joined later on. Because it's a short poem, that's why I am doing it. Fine? Yes. The way a crow swooped down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. One day, poet Robert Frost was standing under a poisonous tree, a hemlock tree, which is considered to be a sign of ill omen, bad omen, which is not considered good. He was standing there and suddenly a crow entered into its branches and started shaking its body. Due to that act, snowflakes fell upon poet's shoulder. Clear? In first stanza, they have discussed that only. So in first stanza, he is trying to say that on such a cold period, he was standing there and from a hemlock tree, which is considered to be very poisonous and negative, a crow, which is again considered a bird of ill omen, it shakes its body and snowflakes fell upon my shoulder. It means a sign of ill omen. Something bad is going to happen. Clear? But in second stanza, it has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day that I had rued. I had rued. It means he had thought negatively in first stanza. From here we get clarification. I had rued the day I had rued otherwise. He was firstly taking this incident in a negative way. Then it actually he thought that I was leading a very rigid life, standing there, nothing was happening with me. But suddenly a crow came, shook its body, and snowflakes fell upon me from a hemlock tree. It is actually a sign of good omen. He himself felt it. It actually brought, why it is good omen? Because it brought a change of mood in poet's dull routine life. And saved some part of a day I had been, otherwise he would have wasted that day in thinking about crow and hemlock and poisonous things and occurring. But that he thought, sudden change, why he brought that sudden change? That actually this is a good change for me. Rather than standing and with no action occurring around, something happened in my life which actually saved my day. So it means all the actions which occur in your life, they have some meaning for you. To take it as a bad omen or take it as a good omen is your choice. How you perceive the things. So it's all about how to change your sorrow into happiness. It's in your hand. How to change your, you can say, symbols of sorrow into symbols of happiness. That's exactly in your hand, how you perceive the things. If you perceive it negatively, you will get negative. If you perceive positively, you will be positive. So it's going to affect your whole day. If you keep on, suppose if poet keeps on thinking, oh my God, I'm lucky, bro, and whatever work he was going to do next after standing over there, he would not be able to concentrate on that work by giving his 100%. Because he's already has made up his mind something bad is going to happen with me. Yeah, he won't be able to give his 100%. But if he has thought, he has converted his bad feelings into positive ones, definitely he will go with cheerful and positive attitude further, and whatever task he is up to, whatever he is going to do next, will be good for him. Because the kind of mindset we people have, the kind of results we people provide. During exams, people say, "Na, oh my God, I forgot to do this. I usually go and ring the bell in my temple at home or at some other temple, and definitely I'm going to forget in the exam. Oh my God, definitely." Suppose you say, if you are going with this mindset while preparing for the exams with negativity, it will affect your mindset. It will affect your performance, I must say. But if definitely you think that, so what? God is everywhere. You have forgotten to, you can say, wish to Lord today, wish to Almighty or go to temple today, or I could not get time to do this. God is there in our hearts. It's everywhere. Maybe God wanted to save my time to reach the destination and perform better. That's your attitude. So this point tells us about, it's all about how you can change your sorrow into sadness, into happiness, into your, you can say, it's all about your bad moods into good moods. It's up to us how we want to perceive the things. If we want to perceive the things, if somebody is bad for us, that person will remain bad for us. If we think this person is good, everyone is good, at least everyone has something good in themselves. See, it's choice is yours. Is it clear to everyone now? Kindly text me if you have any doubt. My chat box is open for you people. You can pour in your suggestions or yes, somebody is texting. This gives us a message that we should not take things for granted. As bad omens can change our mood and bring us joy. Yeah, you can say that, beta. Clear. Tanya is saying clear. Anybody having doubt? Now I'll be continuing with the question answers, stanza-based question answers, and then on the basis of these two, only 8 stanzas, 8 lines are there. This one, take things for granted means we take everything easily. We take everything for granted. Okay, it happened, it happened. Fine. That is the meaning of taking things for granted. Taking things not seriously, casually. Clear? Okay. Now let's move on to, firstly before moving on to, I would like to see whether you are paying attention to me or not. Then we have Dakshita, unmute yourself, beta. Dakshita, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Dakshita, can you tell me why did poet turn negative into the first stanza?
Ma'am, because he was considering a tree and crew as a bad omen.
Yes, very good. And
that's why his thoughts were becoming negative as he was considering them as bad omens.
Okay, beta. Well done, Dakshita. Mute yourself. And we have from 10th also, I can ask anyone to unmute. I don't know. It's a joint class today. Aditi Narula, can you hear me, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Aditi Narula, you just tell me how his negative attitude changed into positive one into the second stanza. How did that act? How did that act save his day? He's saying that actually it saved some part of my day which I had to do. Otherwise, I have wasted my day. But how it saved the day of the poet, according to you? Asita, I will explain to you better. Last 2 times I'm getting the message from you all. It's not clear, beta. Shall I repeat again? Voice is not audible. Those who don't know the answer is just mute themselves. And what an easy way of online class, no? Okay, I'm going to explain last line and save some part of the day I have used for you. Achha, yes, I'm making mistake. The poet is saying, otherwise he would have wasted his day by thinking that something negative happened. But actually, it saved his day because some change occurred in his life. So rather than regretting or repenting that why did it happen, he should be happy that yes, it happened with me only. Fine. So a change of mood was brought. He himself brought that change of mood in his life. Clear? So now on, I hope it's clear. I know Vivan time is about to, Bell is about to go, but even then you just note down few questions are there, stanza-based questions. And now, beta, I have already sent the text in the group that you're supposed to submit your notebooks of previous lessons along with the notice writing which we have done. 1 to 25 today and 26 onwards tomorrow. And you should strictly follow the instructions given by me in the group. So kindly follow the instructions, whatever given to you, and send your notebooks accordingly. So right now, the first question, name the poem and the poet. No problem, Vivan. 2 minutes are still there. You can note down. Name the poem and the poet. Second question is, what does the crow do? What does the crow do? Third is, where was the poet standing? Where was the poet standing? Fourth is, how did snow affect him in the first stanza? How did snowflakes affect him? A-F-F-E-C-T, affect him in the first stanza. Last is fifth question. How did the poet save some part of his day? How did the poet save some part of his day? You just think about the answers. We'll be discussing tomorrow or whenever the class will be. We'll be discussing these question answers and long questions. Have a nice day, beta.